Hi everybody, it's Connie again, and I am crafting today as usual. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is using up your stash, because we all have a stash of something crafty that we hoard. And I was kind of going through mine, and I have an ungodly amount of ribbon and washi tape and things that are sort of piling up on me. So I thought maybe today I need to focus a little bit on how to use up some of this ribbon. So I'm going to show you a few things on how I've used it. This is a punch needle that my sister made for me for Halloween. I know it's creepy, but that is totally my style. And I just want to show you this little hanger that was made using ribbon. So this is basically punch needle on craft felt. The back felt is that super stiff type of felt, and then just colors like, kid craft felt, the standard thing. But isn't it cute? So the little ribbon is just a strip of ribbon folded as a hanger. So you fold it like this and glue it between the layers, and you have a hanger. I have a few others that I did the same way. I am obviously kind of a Halloween freak, but this one's more fallish for those who are not into Halloween. But basically, pinking shears and felt and just cross-stitched pictures on cardboard, and again, made a hanger out of ribbon so that I could just hang them on my cabinet doors. Now on hers, I also added a magnet on the back so that I could put it on the refrigerator, because if you've ever been in my house, my kitchen is not that big, and so I don't have that many cabinet doors, and I have quite a few of these. Anyway, so that's one idea. Another idea is this is called a needle roll, but basically it's sort of an ornament, a decoration. You could do this with anything cloth. You could even use it, some of the decorative towels and washcloths and things that come out around the holidays, and you can just roll it, stitch it on the back, or you could even tape it or heat set it with some of the tapes that they have out now. And then the top is tied with a ribbon and then stuffed with batting, and then the bottom is tied with a ribbon. Isn't that cute? We make these into ornaments. My sister and I, we have quite a lot of them. She likes to make them too, so I'll often let her finish them, and she does a good job using up all this. This is that real fine ribbon that's dirt cheap. It's like 25 cents a roll around the holidays, so yay, that's awesome. Another way I've used ribbon is I have kind of I love the look of some of this kind of vintage paper and stuff. I don't always scrapbook with it, but what I did was I made sort of a library card catalog, and I'll have to show that sometime, of all these little kind of 3x4 sized pieces of paper, and I decorated some of them with stickers and things that match. And this one I added a little tag, and I put a little tie of ribbon on the top, and on the back I put pictures. That's Steve like a million years ago. I think that was right after Jen was born, so that would have been early 90s. Eek. Anyway, so I have a whole card catalog of these, a whole bunch of different ones, and I like to put ribbons on the top. You can see without the ribbon, it would be a little bit boring, and so just that little bit really seems to add quite a lot. I use a lot in scrapbooking, and I brought in some pages that I've made just to show you how I've used ribbon. This is just a strip of ribbon. It is, if you look close, it is really cute and decorative, but I have no use for heart-shaped ribbon. But I had to buy it, of course, and here I am. So I used it on this scrapbook page. This is actually a 2-page layout where I extended the ribbon on for the rest of the page, and I just cut it off and attached it. That's of my puppy. Isn't he cute? Anyway, so there's that layout. You may recognize this layout because it was part of our Hostess Club group for a long time, a few months ago. And this I used, this is shimmer trim, which is a kind of paper ribbon. It's got glitter accents. I don't know if you can see it. It's shimmery. And I just used it as an accent on that border. And the other thing I wanted to show you is that these strips right here, these chevrons and things like this, could easily be done using a ribbon. You'd have to get the right color, but you know, you could just cut the edge and attach it, and you could use ribbons instead of paper. It just so happened that this was a close to my heart paper pack, and it all coordinated, and I liked how it looked, so I did that. But on my own scrapbook pages, you might notice I use a lot of ribbon. So what I did was I grabbed one of my books, which I know it's a little ungainly here, but I just want to show you a couple of ways that I used ribbon in my own books. This one, if you can see it, it's kind of dark, I realize, but basically I put a strip of ribbon down, so it's like this, and then I made a ribbon and I stuck it to the top. It looks like I might have tied it, but I didn't. And so the way you do that is you have your scrap of ribbon. It doesn't matter what length, really. Leave a little tail, and then you just wrap and tuck the loop in like this. And so you can kind of, don't pull it too tight until you have it the size you want it. And at the very end, you'll have it exactly the size you want. You could put that on the front of a card. You could put that on to your scrapbook page, just trim, and you can see how I did it. So I just attached it to that strip. So that's one way to add a ribbon without too much work. The next one I wanted to show you, sorry about that, is this style. This is an interesting thing because this style, it looks like I took two pieces of ribbon and then tied it. But what I actually did was I laid a strip of ribbon down, and then I took another strip and put it under it. And then I did adhesive under there, so this was all attached. And then I used this to tie kind of a knot. So what I like about doing it that way is that it's not so much work to try to tie two pieces together. I have seen people try to tie two pieces together. It's hard. Sometimes you can do like an overhand kind of knot kind of thing, but it's hard to do on a scrapbook page. So this is how I do it. I just wanted to show you. I lay it down, I put a second piece, and then I just tie it, and then I just trim it where I want it to be. All right, so I wanted to show you that. Okay, next one. I wanted to show you this one is basically I used it instead of paper where you could use like a little strip of paper as an accent. I used two pieces of dotty ribbon. I thought it turned out really cute as a black accent to this tennis page. And I think that sometimes these cute ribbons, I just don't know what to do with them. And if you think of them when you're doing scrapbooking as kind of like a paper accent, you start thinking out of the box. Because a lot of times I just put it along this border and make an edge. Sometimes I'll make a flag, and I'll show you how I did that later. And here's another one where I made a strip, and then this one I just strictly tied the bow around the strip before I attached it. It was that simple, and it's that easy. And you might notice that There's a picture of my little puppy there. And Snickers sharing his cage because, she just tends to do things like that. Okay, and then this is another example of using ribbon where basically you just take a piece of cardstock and fold the ribbon in half and then staple it on or glue it on and then trim it however you want. It makes like a little flag. And so that's another way to use ribbon on a scrapbook page. All right, let me get rid of this. Okay, so there's a couple of little things I wanted to show you. This is just a scrap of paper, and then here's a scrap of ribbon. Sometimes, like I said, I'll fold it up like this and attach it and put a staple there and then put my photo over it, and it looks great. Another thing that I like to do is I like to show people how to cut ribbon so that you can make like a neat chevron. So if you're going to cut a chevron, I fold the pieces over. Let's just say I want to make a flag for this, for a couple of pieces of cardstock. My scissors aren't very sharp. Okay, there you go. And then what I'll do is take this stack of ribbon, there's 2 ribbons there, and I will fold it in half. It looks a little finicky, a little fiddly, but when you fold it in half, you have all the layers together. If you cut it this direction, you end up with pieces that are like, chevron style. I don't know, I think that's what they call that. Anyway, so you have like a couple of little flags, and flags are kind of fun for the corners of your paper or to stick off the side, or, like on that one page where we had all the ribbons kind of coming down from the top of the page. You could do them in different lengths. It's hard to take a piece of ribbon and cut that this way, the way you would think someone would do it. It's really hard to do. It's difficult to make both this little triangle and this little triangle the same size. I've seen some people do it like this. So they'll cut in and then fold this over and then cut the other side to match. But I just find that to be very difficult. You end up with all these parts. It's so much easier just to fold them and make them match. Then you have both sides looking identical like that. I hope that helps, and I hope that makes sense. It's a little hard to see, I think, on gingham sort of ribbon, but I do a lot of ribbon on my scrapbook pages, and so I like to show you different ways to use them. Okay, the last thing I have, I just want to point out, the Close to My Heart Christmas catalog is out. I just got it in the mail yesterday. That means that those of you on my mailing list will be getting these, and if you want one, let me know. But I've been messing around with this Holly Jolly paper pack and I bought the kit and just straight up made these layouts. So here's the Joy one. There's the cute little snow globe one, the presents. There's a lot of them, and they're really dimensional and shimmery. There's a lot of glitter cardstock on them. They turned out super nice, and I'm excited about it. But it does make like 3 4 single pages. And it's not that I couldn't put them in my album side by side or whatever, but I have a tendency to try to make all my layouts, like this one, a 2-page layout so that, it flows in my album. It's just a weird thing with me that I like to do. And I think a lot of you probably actually kind of like to do that too. So I took some of my leftovers and I just have red cardstock and a couple of strips of white paper, a few stickers left. These are a couple of the glittery punch outs that were left over from that. And I decided to make it look like a present. And I have some cardstock to, map my photos with. But I wanted to show you something with this piece. A long time ago, paper punches were all the rage. Like everybody had paper punches, and die cuts are more the thing now. But I wanted to show you this particular paper punch because some of you may have it in your stash somewhere. And it's just this one that has the little notched corner. And basically you just slip your paper in and it makes like a little notch. So this one is like gold in my book. I am always on the hunt for this particular paper punch because so many people ask me if Close to My Heart still carries it. This is an oldie. But keep your eye out for it because I want to show you a trick and you'll want it after you see it. So this is shimmer trim. What am I saying? This is twine, and it is baker's twine. It is in every store. It is everywhere you look. It is on rolls and spools and everything, and it's so cute to wrap packages in, but I use it on my scrapbooking pages, and you can see it's super thin. I mean, here's a piece of ribbon versus the trim, so it's very thin stuff. But what's nice is with this corner punch, you can make a really neat effect. So I'm going to flip it over to the other side. I don't know, maybe you like that side better or whatever, but I'm going to flip it over to the back. And this is some washi tape. I buy tons of washi tape. I have a hoarding tendency. I'm not sure I want to be cured. It's just something that happens. But I take the ugly ones, the ones I don't like, and I use them for stuff like this. Since they are acid-free, most of them, and perfect for use for scrapbooking, I can attach that tail to the back and no one will ever know. And then basically what I'm doing is I'm wrapping, look at this, wrapping the corners using the twine. It goes right into the notches. And then I'm going to wrap to the back. I'm going to tape it down again, the other tail down. No one's going to know. And then find my scissors here. Chop that off. Okay, so what you end up with is this really cute effect where it's like wrapped in twine. Now, picture that on the page, right? Really cute, but this could be on the front of a card. This could be, if I did it to this in black and white, that would look really cool. So just imagine, your stamped image in there or your photograph in there. Looks really neat. Now, since this whole theme is a gift package, I just thought it would be kind of really cool then to also add like a little bow to the edge. This kind of thread, Close to My Heart is now carrying sort of a metallic thread that's real fiddly like this, and it's hard to work with. It's hard to make just a real simple bow like I showed you where you tuck and tie. I mean, you can do it, of course, but it takes some practice, obviously. I've done it a few times. And you can make like a little bow, and just a simple little bow is really cute. You can just use a glue dot or something and attach it, and that's really cute. Or you could even like put it there on the tag. I really like it. But I like kind of these fuller bows too. They catch my eye. I could put it, on the trim. I could put it on the page that I'm using side by side with this, and I could attach it somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like it could be the bottom of the globe, or on this one, for example. This would be a great one to go side by side with the one I just made, and I could put it at the top of a letter or on the edge of a message. So, these little tie things like this are kind of fun to use, but I want to show you how to make them. I don't know if you can see with this background. So I'm going to clear off this will work. All right, so what I do for these is I leave a little tail, and then I just start wrapping using my fingers, and I wrap it, 3 or 4 times. And then at the very end, you can see I just have it wrapped around my fingers. I slip it off, you have a loop, and I just put it together, and I wrap the center. And then at the very end, I tie these 2 strings together and trim it off. There you go. Done. That's how I made that. And this works really well for the metallic threads that come in some of the Close to My Heart packages right now too, is wrapping it around your fingers multiple times and then just using the end of the ribbon to wrap, or the end of the twine, and then tie that. Sometimes I'll put a little dot of glue on the back too, just to hold after I tie those together, just to hold it. And then you can attach it with a glue dot anywhere. I just think those are really cute, and those are easy to make, and I think that this would be a really nice page side by side with any of these. I mean, here we have side by side the joy with that. I just think it's cute, and it's just using leftovers. Here's another page I made with leftovers from that packet. I used the Happy Holidays stickers. It's basically just scraps of paper, and I added a couple of photo mats. So that would look really cute with it too. Okay. Is there anything else I want to say? Oh, I guess I just want to tell you that Close to My Heart has decided people are going nuts not being able to get to their Christmas stuff earlier than November, so they are releasing this week. I believe the date is October 16th when this is officially live, ready to order from. There's a lot of really cute things in this catalog, and I hope you take a look at it. It'll be online, and you can shop online at conniesam.closetomyheart.com. So let me know what you think. Thanks.